Go.
Welcome, everybody. It is D23 week, so we're talking Aladdin, Lion King, Star Wars Land, Marvel, and Star Wars, and all kinds of cool stuff. This is the Trailer Park. It was like a freeze frame. Welcome, everybody, to the Trailer Park, the official movie podcast of WampaSlayer.com. I'm Dave.
I'm the Mike.
And this podcast, along with all of our others, are brought to you by Audible.com. That's audibletrial.com/WampaSlayer. WampaSlayer. It's somewhere. Audibletrial.com/WampaSlayer. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, and more. I won't talk about Dr. Katz again. I tried asking every podcast that we did about it, and you were the only one who slightly knew about it.
Well, I remember watching it.
Yeah. But if you like Dr. Katz out there or anything else,
I was still very little when that was out.
audibletrial.com/WampaSlayer. So as was promised, this is D23 week. We talked about it on the WampaSlayer podcast, but we got to steal all of their movie titles.
That's our job.
Because that's our job.
Yes. They can talk about any other nonsense.
Yeah, which they did. They talked about Pokemon Go. So if you don't like Pokemon Go, and
you probably shouldn't listen to our podcast if you don't like Pokemon Go. That's been the most common topic for a year now.
In any case, this week is D23, or last week was D23.
Yeah, that just wrapped up.
This week, actually, so this is Wednesday, so San Diego Comic-Con is starting right now.
Oh, that's
right. So next week will be the SDCC trailer park.
And I'm sure that's also when they're going to do more Marvel footage. And
and we'll get to the Marvel and the Star Wars stuff a little bit later. We want to follow up with our last week's discussion, which was Disney's live-action animated franchise thing they're kicking in, was having some trouble casting Aladdin. Well, it looks like they have found it.
3 at least, right?
3, well, the main characters. There's nothing about Jafar or anything like that yet. But Aladdin is Mina Moussaad, who doesn't really have too much. He's a Canadian actor. He has some TV credits.
That's fine. I mean,
a little bit of an unknown, but that's all right.
But it looks like they found the Middle Eastern descent guy who can sing, all that stuff.
Yeah, there was always a problem when the people are like, coming up with Captain Marvel or coming up with other people. They're like, who would really, we want Anna Kendrick to play Squirrel Girl or something like that. I'm like, I don't want that. I want somebody new.
Not always, no.
Give me somebody new, introduce somebody else.
New enough.
Yeah.
You still need some established people around, like the new people.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, would Anna Kendrick make a good Squirrel Girl? Maybe. Yeah. She's funny, sure, but does she do the action? Will she bring that?
Right. Which, by the way, the Squirrel Girl casting is perfect.
Oh, it's
Milana Vaintrub.
Yeah, she'll be good
from
for
Ultimate Warrior or Silicon Valley or what you actually know her from, which is probably
the AT&T commercials.
They posted they're like Ultimate Warrior star Milana Vaintrub. I'm like, she's the AT&T girl. Don't play around with this. But in any case, so Mina Moussaad, who's a kid, he's a Middle Eastern descent. Naomi Scott, who is going to play Jasmine, who we know from. She was on a TV show that I don't remember the name of, but which it was like it's not that it was an unheard of TV show, just because I don't remember. But she was the Pink Ranger in the new Power Rangers movie, and I thought she was good.
She played a good part.
Yep.
That movie was pretty good overall. I never.
Following up with our discussion on Sunday about the random outcry because of the female doctor coming to Doctor Who.
Of course. Why would you ever have that?
Did you check how I said the doctor, not female Doctor Who? Yeah, I know the lingo.
It's Doctor.
I've watched one episode and I'm not a huge fan.
No,
sorry.
Neither am I.
Anyways,
not a fan at all.
So there's a little bit of a backlash because she is half Middle Eastern. I know.
Which half?
I mean, I think that this, it's a trouble thing because we're two white guys, so it's a difficult thing to talk about.
2 straight white men in 2017.
Exactly, and that we would have, we're still like, what's the big deal or anything like that. I think it's really, really great that they're even dedicating themselves to try to make
that's on their radar.
Yeah.
And
so I mean, it's going to be little steps, and they already said that they already had enough trouble finding a cast for this.
How could you ever, in terms of the Doctor, how could you ever cast a woman as the time-traveling, shape-shifting alien who doesn't die?
But anyways, she was very, very good, and I'm guessing that she can sing. So
she must. I mean, in order to be in it, she has to, right?
And that's some of those songs. Some of the Aladdin songs. A lot of people may not remember a lot of Aladdin. I mean, obviously I do. I've watched it a lot, but A Whole New World and stuff like that. Those are big deal Disney songs. So this is
A Whole New World.
It was
never had a friend like me.
Yeah, it's as big as when they said Beauty and the Beast is coming out. Like when Cinderella came out, it's kind of like people know that song, but Someday My Prince Will Come is not the song that everybody thinks of when they think of it.
And wait till The Lion King comes out.
But Beauty and the Beast, Whole New World, these are big songs, so this is Lion King will be another big one.
I mean, The Lion King, that's my soundtrack to Disney movies. That's the stuff I know like everything from.
Yeah. But Never Had a Friend Like Me. Speaking of that, the Genie has been cast.
This I think should be pretty good.
Yeah, it's Will Smith. I like how it said, by the way, American actor Will Smith. Everybody knows who Will Smith is. Don't play around.
Yeah. Like he's not Will Smith.
Yeah, he's Will Smith. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder. My bigger thing with the voice, as long as he's funny and like wacky, which Will Smith can do.
Yeah, he's still got that laugh.
Yeah. I mean, if it's Fresh Prince Will Smith, that's a perfect Genie.
Yeah.
I want to know what he would look like though. Because even so, we think
they're not going to use. You don't think they're just going to CGI a blue dude?
I would imagine that they will, but if you think about the genie is an animated character.
Yeah.
Like Aladdin is a animated human, and you could just make that a human.
He's a cartoon in a cartoon.
He is so weird looking, and he has to constantly shift if they're going with that story. Which I mean, if they're casting Will Smith as a genie, it sounds like they are. That's the one that is a bigger deal to me. It's kind of like what are they going to make the Hulk look like? But even then, the Hulk looks like a dude that's huge.
He's Mark Ruffalo if you gave him massive muscles and turned him green.
Genie,
he's still
even his face doesn't even look that much like a human's face.
No, it's
weird.
It's more anthropomorphic than anything. So it's a humanoid face.
I'm super excited as Will Smith. I love Will Smith.
Yeah,
I'm more interested in what it would look like.
That's a fair point.
Lion King has found its Scar. My wife is not a huge fan of this.
Does she not like the actor?
She likes Hugh Jackman, but she's not a huge fan of. But it's Hugh Jackman. The Wolverine will be playing the lion, Scar, the villain. But I think that Scar is so. I'm vamping because I'm forgetting his name. So if you want to jump in,
Jeremy Irons.
So totally Jeremy Irons. That
I didn't know where you're
think
going.
of him as anything else is weird.
Because the voice.
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons' voice is just perfect for that. The
Simba,
way he does
I don't think Matthew Broderick.
No.
I don't
honestly,
think...
Simba, I think Jonathan Taylor Thomas is the voice of little Simba. I
do think Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane
when I think about
is Timon.
But they've gone a complete different direction with that.
But who are they doing for Timon and Pumbaa again?
It is Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen.
Right, yeah.
So they've gone a completely different direction with that, and I'm fine with it.
They still got hyperactive,
yeah,
tall guy and funny chubby guy.
But yeah, Hugh Jackman. I can see Hugh Jackman being a great villain. I thought in District 9, Chappie, he was a really great villain with his original accent. That's the other thing is you don't ever get to see him as
with the Aussie
with that accent. So I think that's a really cool idea. It's just that character is Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, it is.
And Nate brought this up that all of the people who were in the original Lion King are still very much alive. And Darth Vader's coming back. I'm getting no names
James
today.
Earl Jones.
I'm gone.
Mufasa is coming back.
James Earl Jones is coming back. Why can't some of the other guys come back?
Maybe they just couldn't do it.
It's true, or maybe they wanted specifically to do that, but they wanted that one thing. And Mufasa's lines aren't that much in the actual.
No,
thing.
he's in the beginning. He dies, and then he's ghost.
It's remember
who
you are
and brother.
Yeah,
that whole scene.
So I mean, that should be James Earl Jones. I don't know who else would do that, but yeah, why they can't?
It's the same thing. Is if you ever had Vader's voice, you're only do.
Chad Vader.
Oh well, yeah.
Force Awakens or Force Unleashed. I'm sorry.
Yes, I understand.
Yep. But in any case, so those are our casting things. There's a lot more that came out of D23. So I want to talk a little bit about, and I know I'm going to be much more excited about this than you are, but the Disney theme park changes. So when I was last there, they had announced Star Wars Land and were designing it. Pixar Land was under construction. Most of Hollywood Studios was under construction.
Wait, all that sounds awesome. I
they
just don't get to go as much as you do.
Right. They had switched the person who was, I don't know their names, but the person who was in charge of Hollywood Studios and the person who was in charge of Epcot switched places. They had talked about the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy change to the Twilight Tower of Terror. They didn't quite know how that was all going to work out. So, over the last year, Pandora has opened, which is the Avatar Land.
That looks really cool.
And we don't really know why it was Avatar Land. I feel like that was a huge deal that was made 10 years ago.
James Cameron.
And now we have to just follow that contract. But from what I've seen, it looks pretty cool.
It's a movie that made $1 billion. You're gonna put that in your theme park
with a dumb story, and then now even when you look back,
hold on, don't blame Avatar for its story because they've been stealing that story for movies. It's Fern Gully. It's
even
Dances
though
with
if you
Wolves.
go back and look at that movie, like now, even the animation doesn't look that great anymore.
It's old. It's what 2000.
Yeah.
It's 10
So
years
it's
old.
kind of like I'm like, yeah, man,
I still, I still like that movie.
But there's
I liked it a lot.
He's got plans for like 17 sequels or whatever.
5.
Yeah, something like that.
It's James Cameron. If you can make $1 billion with a movie, I'll pay you to do it.
Right. So Guardians of the Galaxy opened in Anaheim in Disney's California Adventure.
Now, this is a dumb question. Disneyland is California. Disney World is Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I always get those confused for some reason.
And then when you hear California Adventure, that's also Disneyland.
Okay.
It's a separate park.
I learned something. I know I probably should have known that.
Hey, it's all right. So they opened Guardians of the Galaxy. People were very upset because Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is a fantastic ride. It's a staple now. I mean, it was a newer ride. It's still only like
Isn't the Tower? Isn't there also one in Disney World?
Yeah. So they were afraid that in Disney World they were going to change it, and they have decided not to. They are going to open up a Guardians of the Galaxy themed ride in Epcot.
Yes, that one.
Epcot has gone through some troubles. A lot of its stuff has been closed, which it looks like they're opening a lot there. Something to do with the Avengers, but they didn't quite release it. There was just, if you walked, I guess they put it in the park, but there was this big, the Avengers A symbol on this like hatch screwed into the ground. And like, but they haven't really released what it's going to be. But there's going to be an Avengers thing, including Spider-Man, because they still own Marvel Entertainment.
Yeah.
Just because they don't own his film rights is not.
They don't need it. They still
own.
They own the character of Spider-Man and all of anything comic related.
Yeah. Including that in Epcot, they are adding a Ratatouille attraction to France.
See, that makes me very happy because Ratatouille is one of my favorite movies.
It does and it doesn't. So in Norway, they've added a Frozen thing.
Really?
Yeah, and they took out I don't know, you went there a long time ago, but I don't know if you remember the trolls and the boat ride. It was a way outdated attraction.
When I was there, I spent most of my time in Germany because of the beer house. Not gonna lie, that place was awesome.
But that ride, the Maelstrom, was a very dated ride, a very old ride, but it was like a staple when you go there because the Norwegian guy's talking through the whole thing. And all of the attractions in Epcot were framed to teach you something about the country. So that taught you about like their mythical history, along with the trolls and all this kind of stuff, along with some of the other stuff. You go and you see them like fishing and like and all that kind of stuff. I'm not as super happy to see that they've, instead of trying to fix the attractions, which I actually wrote an article about, but I never posted it. It was how I would fix Epcot, and it would be amazing. But I'm not a huge fan that they're adding a lot of their IPs as attractions rather than trying to like sell what they already had. It was supposed to be about the future and innovation and technology and all that kind of stuff, and I guess that doesn't sell. It's still very popular. Test Track is one of the most popular rides down there. Soarin' is a popular thing. But
Soarin' was fun. Yeah. I did that. That was pretty new.
Mission to Mars, kid died, so people don't ride that anymore, but I love it. It's a great ride.
Well, I guess what they could have done then instead with the Ratatouille thing is made like the restaurant there.
They did. There was already a restaurant. And I can't remember the name of it, and there's already an animatronic Ratatouille in there that's like talking and like doing all kinds of stuff. But is it actually the restaurant from the movie? No, the restaurant already existed before the movie came out. I think that would have been a better choice then, I guess, for them. Which they might still do, but they just said it's a Ratatouille attraction.
I love Ratatouille. It's one of my favorite movies.
I think this is a great idea. There's a little part of me that goes, well, I loved that stuff where they were like, it was full cultural immersion.
But you've been going to Disney your whole life. So for you're a, I want the Disney I grew up with. Yeah. But this also means that the new Disney means more Marvel and Star Wars
It's true.
Stuff.
It just means some more cool stuff. Switching back over to Hollywood, Pixar Land, they showed there's going to have 2 new attractions. One has to do with Slinky the dog. I don't remember what the other one is. And the expansion to Toy Story Midway Mania. Let's see. Did I have any more other ones? Oh, so the Star Wars, they showed off a model of the Star Wars land, which is called Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And they are boasting some intense attractions.
It had a Mos Eisley feel to it.
There's part of that, but it's also very green. They wanted it to be, so it feels a little bit like Mos Eisley on a Happy Planet.
Well, what's their Takodana Castle?
Yeah.
Where Maz was.
Very close to that, yeah. But there's supposed to be a very like hands-on Millennium Falcon piloting attraction.
That's
like
awesome.
You sit in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon and you pilot it. Now they said the same thing about Mission space.
Oh, can I sit there and say, what's that flashing?
Flash thing. Maybe. Just get on the ride with complete strangers. What's that flashing?
Just so everyone, just so everyone knows, it's one of my least favorite Luke lines from a movie where he has a terrible bunch of teenager lines where he just goes, "What's that flashing?"
It's "What's that flashing?" and Jake Lloyd. That's Mike's Star Wars hatred.
It's when you put that it's that line is no, I don't really hate it because it's still a great movie. It's just like, seriously, that has to stay in there. Luke is at least old enough to realize that that's not a good thing.
But Han does smack him for it, so that's okay.
He pushes him, but he doesn't. I mean, I send him to the airlock and out of there.
You're done. You're just done. You're out of the story.
Future of the Jedi. I don't care.
Yeah. Anyways, that's set to open next year, and that's gonna be super fun. And I should be down there. I think I might be down there at the end of this year, but in any case, so that's what we got as far as trending stuff. Like I said, we're gonna get into Star Wars and Marvel in a little bit, but first we're gonna keep that tradition going of our international or fan trailer of the week, where Mike and I try to guess it.
We're not doing well on these.
And there was a time when I chose them, and at least I knew, but now Nate chooses them and makes us look bad. Well, not really, because the last week's with
the Return of the
Yoda
Jedi
kazoo nose thing. But anyways, what do we got this week?
All right, so this week there's actually two posters. One is for the same movie. One from France, one from Poland.
Okay.
I know it.
Is it Harry and the Hendersons?
Harry and the Hendersons, isn't it?
It is absolutely.
I figured that one makes it easier, but that I get too.
All right.
Okay.
And the Hendersons.
First of all,
Short Circuit, no. Return of the Jedi, no. Harry and the Hendersons, I'm down with that.
That's easy.
That and the body.
Well,
and
that one could have, I think, eventually done it, but
that
together.
got it from me, yeah.
No,
so
together.
We both worked that.
But funny story about this film.
John Lithgow.
And my little brother doesn't listen to our podcast, but this movie came out when he was very little. Oh, what was this movie? Like in the early 90s?
Yeah.
So he was maybe, I think, in that, like, he was like 6 or 7, real young. There's some pretty frightening stuff at the beginning of the movie when he's just the Sasquatch, and before he gets hit by the car. It scared him to death. He could not watch the movie for a while after that. But oh my gosh, that movie! I absolutely love that movie. I will.
Nate,
I will
get out of here.
I love Harry and the
Hendersons.
Hendersons.
What you want to hear? Anyways, so Harry and the Hendersons, that's a good one. So we are called the Trailer Park because we love movie trailers and we love the advertisement of movies because it's really interesting how different that can be than the movie. I just watched Rogue One, which is added to Netflix, and I was thinking about that trailer and how they did the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh, it was so good.
You got to admit the beginnings of that movie are very problematic and like jumpy, and then it leads into some amazing stuff.
A lot of good set pieces.
But I was thinking about the trailers where I'm like, man, the Rogue One trailers were some of the best trailers. They were so intense. But anyways, we're going to take each our own trailer, and then we're going to jump into our feature one. So Mike, go ahead and take it away.
So I saw this first advertised yesterday on Facebook, and then I watched it today. It's called Alpha. It's coming out March 2nd of next year. It stars the Nightcrawler from the new X-Men movies.
Okay.
Cody Smith-McPhee, I think is his name. It looks like it starts with a bunch of, looks like probably Neanderthal men. It looks like it's the Ice Age. They're sitting around a campfire, and they hear like an animal stalking them. It looks like to either be a wolf or probably like a saber-toothed cat. It picks one of them off, and really there's not a lot of talking because I don't think they're not speaking English really at all. Mm-hmm. They're doing that, and then they show a hunt with the kid, and they do this thing where it's buffalo, so it's a set in America. Mm-hmm. They throw a bunch of, like, make a spear line, and they freaks them out, and they turn around, and they fall off a cliff, and then I think they just pick up the dead ones from off the cliff. I don't know. I don't know how 20,000 years ago we hunted. But the kid gets caught up and gets, like, caught by one of these buffalo and knocked off the side. And he has to escape. He ends up getting attacked by wolves, and he stabs and hurts one, but it doesn't die. And then he nurses it back to health. And the way that it's tagged is, this is the story that changed man's best, basically it's how we started to tame dogs.
Oh, okay.
And which is really neat if you ever watched the new Cosmos, and Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about that at the very beginning and how they picked the wolves that were actually willing to come near them. Mm-hmm. He does that. He's nursing it back to health. He gives it water. It starts to drink the water. It looks like they start to actually form a bond of like partnership. But, Alpha and Wolves is the leader. So it just shows this thing. It looks like he's trying to get back home because his dad thinks he's dead. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It actually looks really good, and it's gonna be IMAX and IMAX 3D, and it looks like a movie that's perfect for it.
Yeah.
Because it was filmed.
Revenant BC.
It was filmed on location in some huge national park, I think in Alberta, like Dinosaur Provincial Park, and it looks amazing. Like the set looks. I mean, it's a natural set. Obviously, it looks great. It's called Alpha. Check out the trailer for yourself.
Was this a foreign movie or a?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. Like I said, there's not a lot of dialogue in it. Maybe there is, but I wasn't really paying attention. I don't really
Right.
care about the dialogue. The visuals are stunning.
Yeah.
A lot of like cool snow effects because it's the Ice Age, and like it looks like at one point he's running through a blizzard, but some like other like tribe, I'm thinking some like, it was a woman that's like trying to like I guess probably shoot the wolf, and she like
Right.
pulls off this shroud, and you see her like basically pull out of like she's in a snowstorm, and she pulls it off. That's the only way you know she is. But March 2nd of next year, check it out for yourself. Definitely check it out in IMAX when it comes out because it looks like a movie perfect for it.
Can't do animal movies.
No?
No.
Okay,
It's
because
always going to be so sad.
Okay, here's the thing. You know, there's a website for you.
What?
It's called doesthedogdie.com.
Oh, yeah.
You go to doesthedogdie.com, put in the movie that you want to see, and it lets you know. So you can cry before the movie comes out.
Right. It's like that Dog's Purpose when somebody's like, do you want to go see that movie? I went, why on earth would you want to go see that movie?
Like Marley and Me.
yeah,
If
even
you didn't,
that.
I'm sorry, spoiler alerts to the movie's old. If you didn't foresee that the dog died, first,
Well,
it's
even
actually,
even Marley and Me was about their life with this dog. A Dog's Purpose is about how every dog dies, and this dog dies multiple times over and over.
oh,
again in
that's the
movie.
one. Okay,
It's terrible. I'm like, why would you want to see this movie? I didn't see it. I'm not gonna see it.
because you're gonna cry, and no one wants to do that.
Get mad. All right. Bringing it back around to Disney. A Wrinkle in Time's trailer was released at D23. It was really, really cool.
I also
So this
watched
is
it.
based on the novel of the same name back in 1963 by Madeline. See, I wrote all these names down, and remember how I said I spelled them
Lingle?
wrong, and I was going to know it?
Lingle, I think it
I wrote
was.
Laugle.
Lingle.
Close.
I got your back, Dave.
All right.
I'll be your name guy for the day.
No way that's an N that I wrote. But anyways, 1963. So this is a story. It's kind of a YA kind of deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. These are for younger kids.
What I was gonna say actually about earlier when we were talking about the no-name actors, and then you also keep on the talent. I think Harry Potter did that perfectly.
They did.
You bring this core cast of unknown people, and then put every
Established
established British actor
around them.
except for Martin Freeman and Ian McKellen because they were recording other things.
Were they busy? I think
It was-
filming for
it's really
for
funny.
9 straight years
I can't remember what they do, but
or 6 straight years.
Yeah, Ian McKellen was making jokes about it. How he's the only British actor who wasn't invited to be in Harry Potter.
He would have been Dumbledore.
Yeah. In any case,
I mean,
so that's what this is. So it's Chris Pine, who I love. It's Oprah,
and
who's
he loves that
amazing.
forehead.
Yeah, it's the eyes, man. If you look,
He's got very intense
it's
eyes.
it's Star Trek Into Darkness, which is a problematic movie, but in that movie when he's being told that, or when RoboCop's telling him that he's going to blow up his ship.
Peter Weller.
Yeah. If nobody's ever
RoboCop.
seen this movie, I already said that it was problematic, and then RoboCop's in it. What is this movie?
RoboCop and Doctor Strange are both in this film.
They are. But when he's telling him thing, they zoom in on his face, and he doesn't have any reaction in his face, but his eyes like look this way and then like look down. I'm going, oh man,
That's tough
Yeah.
acting.
I mean, in Wonder Woman, he was amazing.
He's
and all
very
that
good.
stuff.
He's very good. I'm just giving you a hard time. 'cause
Playing alongside Oprah, who's
Yes.
a fantastic actor.
People forget that about it, Oprah,
Yeah.
because I think it's been way too overshadowed by her recent
I don't
stuff.
remember the name of the movie.
Color
that-
Purple?
No, the one that just came out,
Oh,
The
no.
Life of Henrietta.
Oh, Henrietta. Yeah, the one that was on HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Henrietta Lacks?
Yeah, I couldn't place who the face was, and I went,
She's
that's
in that?
Oprah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or if you've never seen it, The Color
The
Purple.
Color Purple, of course.
She's fantastic in that.
And Mindy,
That's a tough
Mindy
movie to watch.
Kaling, Reese Witherspoon, Zach Galifianakis.
How about Reese without her spoon?
I spelled it REEC, and there's a W and a spoon. I don't know what's in between that.
Well, I
Man.
said without her spoon.
No,
You said with her spoon.
I did say Witherspoon. She does have her spoon.
Okay. Good for her.
But her specifically and Mindy Kaling look amazing in the movie.
Yeah,
I don't
they're-
really know anything about the story, but I don't know what their characters are. They look like they're either in like wizards or enchantress or
Nate,
something like that.
what is the basic story of this? Do you know? No?
It's been
We
so
were-
long
I know there's
Nate
a lot.
was making fun of
I know
us for
there's
not
a lot
knowing what Wrinkle in
of
Time was.
there's a lot
so
of
now we're
time
putting him on
travel
spot.
stuff. I think someone makes something. I kind of read a little synopsis
Yeah,
of it.
something a lot to do with time. But in any case, this comes out in 2018, and it looks
A Wrinkle
really
in
good.
Time? It
The
does.
only thing that freaks me out is the art style looks a lot like Tomorrowland, and Tomorrowland was a little bit of a
And the
failure.
costuming reminded me of too much of Hunger Games.
Yeah. However, this is an established book. Tomorrowland was its own story. So it, if in nothing else, even if the visuals
Established
are a
book
little
that
bit,
we had no idea that
I had
existed.
heard The Wrinkle in Time,
But my
before.
wife did. She's like, A Wrinkle in Time, I know that. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
But in
Sure.
any case, that's 2018, and we'll get into the future of Disney movies in just a moment. It's like Game of Thrones in here. It's all coming.
Yeah.
Marvel, Star Wars, Wrinkle in Time, all of it. We're going to talk about it eventually. So let's get into our feature trailer of the week, which is not actually a trailer. So they had already stated that well, that TV's messed up.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Oh. Well, you're going to get a little bit of background music. But in this, they had
La,
already
la,
said
la,
that...
la. You can't hear this.
Yeah.
This is copyrighted.
You got it? You got to hit the FN key. And
Oh.
I just look over, and Nate is just mashing that button.
Yeah, like this right here, that's real. Like,
Yeah, they talked about that, or that's that mining planet,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Where the speeders were?
Yeah, so they had said that there was not going to be any Star Wars Episode VIII trailer for D23,
Good.
and I believe they said for a Comic-Con too.
That's fine.
I don't think we're going to get another one until like late summer, fall. Not that we need one. It'll probably be just like Episode 7, where it's the second trailer is just showing you more things, and it doesn't really have anything to do. Like, there's no story.
Sorry, I'm just really
That's right.
enthralled
So
with this trailer again.
Rogue One did this last year, and actually, Trailer Park recorded during that.
We did.
We talked about that trailer and how amazing that behind the scenes that right there.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it looks like you can see like the crew's like setup stuff, and I'm going, was that an accident? Was that not part of the movie?
Yeah, like, look at these things.
So, anyways, looking at this, what was your first reactions when you saw something? I saw this trailer.
It has me hyped again for a Star Wars movie, like Rogue One got me hyped.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rian Johnson is appearing to just, let's say, hey, let's do it all. Let's keep it real. Like, let's take all the good stuff that J.J. Abrams did and the guy who did Rogue One, Gareth Edwards? No, that doesn't sound right. I don't remember who did Rogue One.
Gareth
But-
Edwards actually sounds right to me, but
Yeah.
it might not be right.
But it's like, and I love this, is we can do a movie that the CG is in the right place, but the practical stuff is in the even better places to be. Like, people flipping, explosions, animatronic little things. Like, I don't, I think we're to the point where, like, oh, if they're going to, like, phone it in and just have CG for all this stuff, well, I'm okay. That's what we're at. I mean, that's the world we live in, but they're doing it again. Like, all this is real. Like, right there, like,
There was a scene in that little guy. Was my favorite
that's
thing.
so cool.
There was a scene in Rogue One that I thought was so good, and it wasn't one of the practical effects. It was when they're about to go bomb the installation where Galen is, and in the rain, those X-wings taking off. Like, that's a digital effect in this movie that touted practical effects, and they did that very, very well too.
Because it
So
looked
it's not,
real.
It's not like saying, and there's I'm going to say it, but Nerdwriter does a really good thing about how you don't. Saying that digital effects have ruined movies is not correct.
No, not at all.
But there's a good way to go about it.
It's a wrap.
Exactly. So yeah, for me it was again, of course they have touted their visual effects or their practical effects.
Well, they've got one of the best effects teams ever in movies. So
The robotic stuff and all the puppetry was so cool. That little penguin guy we saw, there was a wolf or something. There was
like
a
a-
big llama-looking, giraffe-looking thing.
then the aliens, it looked like almost like a casino scene. Like, that was
The only thing is, what after watching this, and we've already seen one 1 minute trailer. This is another 2 minutes, shows you a little bit more. What's got you most excited about this?
It looks like, because everyone's biggest concern with The Force Awakens, and it's a valid concern, was they felt it was such a rehash of Episode 4, which I think is still a little unfair to The Force Awakens. Was it a lot of the same thing? Sure, but I still think that's an unfair thing. The Force Awakens in its own right was an excellent film. So, and what's wrong with borrowing from the first Star Wars movie? Yeah, it's derivative. Who cares? That was never my concern with that movie.
I didn't ever have a particular. My issue that I had with it was I did leave the theater feeling a little bit like I didn't get to see anything totally brand new.
And that's where I think it's
But
a better.
what they did perfectly.
I think that's
It's
that's what I'm
wrong.
saying. That's a more fair comparison.
Yeah.
Not the it's just a rehash of episode 4.
It was a beautiful Star Wars movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
This though has me thinking. This doesn't feel, even for all this, has to not have me feeling like this is the Empire Strikes Back. Because even if the First Order does, if it goes the whole route where this is the one that they technically win. Because they had a lot of winning in the first movie.
Well, that's George Lucas's rule of a trilogy. First one, you introduce your characters. Second one, you put them in the worst possible position. Third one, they come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just so much of that looks so good. Like, it looks like they're expanding beautifully on so much. And this is a different director who is looking at the first film and being like, okay, this is what they started. I'm just going to keep it as seamless as possible. And I'm going to tell this new story, but still pay the proper tribute to what's come before me.
Right.
And Rian Johnson, I think, is an excellent director. He's made a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
So that right there, especially, is it looks new. Like, this feels like a new Star Wars, a legitimately new Star Wars. And for me, The Force Awakens did too. But after so many viewings, I definitely more and more see. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yep, this is a lot, but this feels for me very new, very fresh. It looks amazing. The set pieces are going to be incredible. Like I said, it has me about as hyped for as Rogue One trailers, because Rogue One trailers still are some of the best trailers I've ever seen for a movie.
Yeah, I loved all the practical stuff. I liked the idea that that she has the lightsaber and looks like she's using it. One of the things I hate so much is when you give a character power and then immediately take it away.
Yeah.
There's a point where their power should fail and they have to regain it, but don't immediately take that back. And I like the idea that she's just using the lightsaber. She's trained in the Force. She's going to get out there and do some stuff.
Well, she's also,
really
it looks
cool.
like she's still fighting with her staff, too.
Yeah. And there's no reason for them to do it other than we talked about the Carrie Fisher stuff. But I'm scared now for the future. Every time that, like, something, when they want to use a different actor, I'm scared for a digital face.
Yes.
When I was watching Rogue One, like,
it's so hard. I can deal with Tarkins.
It was exciting the first time we watched it, and we're like, oh, that's cool that they're still including that character. But now when I watch it later, I'm like, that does throw you off. And it's so jarring.
Tarkin in that film was okay.
Yeah.
But putting Leia at the end like that was
so weird looking.
Boom,
yeah.
And it was not good looking.
Yeah.
Tarkin, after it, because you got to see him a few times, you're like, later on, like the last few scenes he was in, like, I don't even realize he's fake anymore.
Yeah.
That's how good it looked. Yeah. But they just throw this super bright white clothed Leia at you, and it's like, yeah, you're super fake.
So that's always something I'm worried about.
Especially
but I don't think there's a reason to have them. They did that because Tarkin was such an integral part of New Hope, and they wanted this movie to tie into New Hope,
and it had to.
Right up to the minute that you had to have that character established. So that made sense.
And he's a great character,
and he does look very, very good. There are some times though, and now in a second viewing, where I'm going, man, I kind of wish I wasn't there. But in the end,
because it doesn't.
It's okay.
It's not.
It's
not.
But the Leia one
hurt,
and part of it was also because she's lit in a
bright room.
She's lit in a very bright room
with a bright white robe.
So you can tell every part of the face that wasn't right.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not right.
And also with Leia, I know you're probably getting to it, like what we're scared of. Another thing I was scared of.
That was my only.
Is stuff with Leia. You know, it's real tragic. Carrie Fisher passes away, and that hurts a lot of people. And there's very few times that I've actually been like upset when celebrities have died, because that is one of like the ones that was like, oh man, I grew up. That was my kind of princess. Wasn't a Disney princess guy. That kind of princess. Oh, she is a Disney princess, but I'm worried that they're going to kill her in the films because she's dead.
Yeah,
and
we don't need another.
I don't like that, and you don't need to recast her. Don't do that either.
No,
just figure out a way for her to not be in the movie anymore.
She wasn't super integral to Force Awakens.
No, she's just there because
she was there. But we can have.
Yeah, but with Han gone.
Yeah, there's
in the movies, not in real life. Yeah. But Han is gone. You don't need her. Like, the story isn't about them. It's about Luke still, obviously, because he has to bridge the gap between the old stuff and the new. But that's all I think you need.
Yeah.
You don't need Carrie. Like, it sucks that, because I'm sure there was more planned for Leia, but don't shoehorn it in there.
Yeah.
Don't write her off in some death.
And we don't need the Paul Walker scene either.
The only way that they could do it, and I would be okay. The only way I'd be okay with them killing her off in the franchise is if it's between the 8 and 9.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like like
the
maybe
Leonard Nimoy type deal in Beyond, Star Trek Beyond.
Yes.
How how basically they come back and somebody informs him that Ambassador Spock has died.
Yes.
And at the end, he's given that picture, and he opens up the picture, and it's the entire original crew in their original things.
Again,
that was a beautiful moment, and you didn't have to create.
You didn't shoehorn write it into the movie. If they do that, like maybe something happens to her. Maybe it was always planned for her to not be around in the last movie, and that's fine. And if she's going to be killed off in the movies, that's fine. Don't put it on the screen.
Right.
Just because she's gone, don't change things.
Right.
Unless it's, she was super integral to episode 9. Well, now you can't leave her around. You got to figure something else out.
All right. So let's finish up D23 with Marvel, specifically Marvel Studios.
This is my kind of thing.
Yeah. So there was a couple different reveals, including a new trailer for Avengers Infinity War. Unfortunately,
you mean the only trailer?
Yeah, for the first. Yeah, unfortunately for us, but very fortunate for Disney.
No one
they
did.
kept this one under wraps. It has not been leaked.
Yeah, not even like I'm filming it under my armpit in a coat.
Nothing. I mean, and it's Disney. Not that we would expect them to do anything right, but they held this one down.
Yeah, because they let a lot of stuff leak in the past.
It's true, but everybody has kind of a synopsis of it, and it kind of annoys me more though that now we have, because of course people were going to know what was in it.
Yeah.
And it's like Batman versus Superman when that very first trailer that was only for the Comic-Con people.
Yeah.
And they just described Superman standing there with his red eyes and Batman standing with the white eyes, and I'm like, man, I wish I could have seen that, because what I'm picturing in my head is probably not as good as what they created. So there's a point that I think they need to create it, and we'll talk a little bit about it. So we'll throw down if you don't want to know anything about it and you completely want to go in.
Spoilers.
There is, we'll talk a little
probably
bit about
some
it.
spoilers coming up, and
We haven't seen it. We weren't there.
Yeah, Nerdist did a synopsis of it.
Yeah.
It is going to spoil some of Infinity War and probably some of Thor from the sounds like it. So if you're also concerned with that, do not listen. Consider
King Hecaton to be your spoiler alert.
Yes.
So they said the movie, or at least the clips, and it may not have actually been a trailer. It sounds like it was like a short organization of clips, but it starts with Thor floating through space.
Apparently left for dead is what it says.
Very Optimus Prime floating through space, and that he has the Soul Stone though. So there's a thought that in Thor Ragnarok, Hela will get.
Or she already
has the Space Stone. He took the Tesseract. Is that idea,
they're saying Loki has that.
Oh,
most
yeah.
likely. They're saying that she's likely doing her rampage because of the Soul Stone, and he has it.
They said that Soul Stone and Space Stone is the Tesseract, right?
Yes,
right?
Because that's it's a bridge.
Synopsis I heard, or the extrapolation of a theory I heard, was that Hela gets the Soul Stone, use it to destroy Asgard, which, by the way, spoiler alert, if this happens to be true, they believe that Heimdall has the Soul Stone.
Right, because that's what we think is part of when Thor went and saw him in Avengers 2.
That's why he has no eyes anymore, because they took it. So, and then they think that Thor will need to get the Space Stone to fight her, to defeat her. And
that's probably why he
Soul
needs
Stone
Loki
back.
and his dad.
They show that Loki is on Earth with the Space
Tesseract.
Stone, with the Tesseract.
It's a Tesseract. They haven't extracted the Space Stone out of it yet.
So Thanos gets the Soul Stone in this trailer. They show the Guardians of the Galaxy picking up Thor in the ship. So obviously we won't see. Either that's a end credit scene from Thor, or we're not going to see the Guardians at all in Thor Ragnarok, which we'd hoped for. But
I thought they were supposed to be in there no matter what.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe they hear about them, and then that's when they go back. But they show Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Hulk fight. No, somebody else fighting a bunch of aliens and stuff like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming there, but no trailer yet.
I think Screen Rant or someone posted that it says it's coming very soon.
Yeah, I would imagine that Comic-Con would be the next place.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll give us a little teaser at
Disney's
Comic-Con.
big deal was, like, a couple years ago, they said that Marvel Studios wasn't going to Comic-Con anymore because they were just going to be at D23. And then last year they said Marvel Studios is coming back to Comic-Con because that's a huge draw and you can't keep them away.
Yeah, you need to figure out at least the comic arm of your
Marvel
Marvel
Entertainment has always been there, but they took away the studios, but now they've come back. And Josh Brolin, of course, was there, and he got to put on by the way, Josh Brolin as Cable. He was shaved head and jacked and everything.
Oh, he looks jacked for this.
But he put on a 2-scale Infinity Gauntlet, and he could not hold it up because it was so huge. But another thing that they showed was who will probably be the villains in the first Avengers
in the
movie.
actual Infinity War.
So this is what they called the Children of Thanos, but they had another name,
The Dark Order.
the Dark Order.
Yeah.
So
And there's
these
Thanos,
are,
obviously, without his armor or his helmet, which is
which
really
looks
weird.
cool.
It's really weird, though.
It is. I don't like that he's wearing like khakis and boots, but it doesn't scream
Well, 'cause
Galactic Lord.
based on
to
the
me.
other.
He looks cool, but I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
what?
this is
He's got
only
boots
4 of
on,
them.
man.
There is one missing.
He's got Timberlands.
Though they're only doing 4, they're actually
Yeah.
5.
So what's the breakdown on these guys?
This is Corvus Glaive.
That's
That's
got
one
a
way you can
glaive.
easily tell.
got a
He and her are married, but
Okay.
they're very like they're all aliens, so they're gonna be powerful.
Mm-hmm.
She is a battle tactician, from what I can understand. This was briefly read before. I could pull out my phone. It doesn't look very professional. Actually, I probably should, because their names are important.
Yeah,
I'm
go for
just gonna do it.
And then I heard that this guy, so they're all like as indestructible as Thanos.
Probably.
I-
I mean, I'm
well,
sure
that's
they've
what
got
I
they got a lot of his. Okay, so well, and this is because we'll start back over here. So Corvus Glaive, yes, this is Cole Obsidian, formerly known as Black Dwarf. Now he's the muscle. If you can't tell that by looking at him, he's the muscle.
He's bigger than Thanos.
He's got a big. Yeah, they call him the Hulk basically in
Okay.
here. Then Proxima Midnight.
It's an intense name.
Yes. She's I guess she's more of a warrior then, according to this. And according to the Screen Rant thing, it says here the best general and creepiest liar in the universe is coming to Corvus Glaive.
Yeah, like kind of the talky guy.
Yes, but there's actually a very talky guy. This guy, yeah, I want to say, it's capable of slicing through anything.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
bye bye Cap Shield.
Yeah, there was that thing of Cap's shield broken in half, so that could be it
Yeah,
in Avengers 2.
but he's gotten his stuff broken before.
Yeah, but it was just the fact that this guy's here. And
This
now,
must be Ebony Maw, because there's one other
I think
person.
so. He's the
No.
thinker, right? There was something
He has
with
the
him.
ability to talk almost anyone into doing his wishes. So
Yeah.
he's the
There
talker.
was something where you have to do something to him to be able to kill him. I can't remember what it was called, but it was something intense. But
Yeah,
so the
all of this
idea
seems
we're
intense.
guessing is that these will be your Avengers Infinity War Part 1 villains.
probably sent to get as many. They're probably sent to get the Soul Stones for Thanos, and then Thanos will be finally
Yeah,
the big bad.
The final
So it doesn't sound like you're going to get your wish that Thanos is going to be the focus of Infinity War.
No, but it did say that Thanos gets the Soul Stone from Thor, so he'll be there. He'll be out there. He won't be sitting on a chair, hopefully.
No, it looks like he's going to be almost ready to go.
Purple weirdo. He likes to sit.
He likes to sit.
But that's pretty cool. So the other thing that we got, and this revealed a couple names and a couple questions that we had as far as how movies were going to be spaced out for Marvel. And this is the future release of Marvel. If you can't see it, we'll walk through it for you. So 2017, we already know about Pixar's Coco and Star Wars and Thor Ragnarok. In 2018, we've got Avengers Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, which we had a question about when that was coming.
Late 2018.
So our big deal was with all these movies that had already been announced. Why were they saying Spider-Man was the first Phase 4? Because all this stuff is still part of Phase 3.
yeah,
Incredibles 2.
so excited.
There was some cool concept art for
Well,
that.
again, one of my favorites.
Wreck-It Ralph
Breaks the internet.
Yes.
Was
Disney's
it
The
Nutcracker? Okay.
The live-action Mary Poppins.
That looks really good.
With Emma. No,
Yeah.
What's her
No. Oh boy, I don't know.
killing me.
What's her name?
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. Yes.
Boom.
Got
Black Panther, of course, we already knew about because
Yeah.
we had a trailer for that.
The Han Solo film.
And the untitled Han Solo film. 2019 starts off with Captain Marvel, which is exciting.
Which I wonder where they're going to put her. If
I'm
she's gonna
guessing
put her-
she's in this.
She has to. be.
She would have to be, and that this will be a continuation,
Right. This will be
maybe with some flashbacks to an origin, but that's Brie Larson.
Dumbo.
Yep.
Starring a bunch of big names.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton's going to be the bad guy in that one again.
Nice. Toy Story 4, which John Lasseter just pulled out of. He handed it down to the assistant. I can't remember the guy's name, but he will not be the director of Toy Story 4. He was the director of all 3 Toy Stories before.
There's the
An
Avengers.
untitled Disney Toon animated feature, which, by the way, I was going to say, is interesting because I would have thought, man, untitled Disney Toon. But if you look later in that year, Frozen 2 is already on the docket.
Yes.
Mulan comes out in 2019 as well, the live action, and
So-
the live action Lion King. That's strange to me that they're both coming out that year.
No.
It
Let's.
doesn't-
No. Why would that? Why would?
I don't know. It's weird that you would do both of them that year. And they look like
They're
they're...
also putting a Frozen movie out at the same time.
Yeah, but these right here equal about when they're going to come out. like Black Panther and Avengers are in the beginning of the year. I guess Star Wars isn't in the middle of the year, but it just seems weird that they were next to each other. It felt like they were going to come out together. And then, of course, Star Wars Episode 9 finishes out 2019. And after that, of course, is Spider-Man Homecoming 2 and whatever.
Are they going to call it Spider-Man Homecoming 2?
No, I doubt it. But
Okay. Because I
That's the
still
only
don't
thing we
understand
have
why
to call it.
Homecoming was ever in the name.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, because Homecoming happened in the movie.
For a minute. It's like you might as well have called it Spider-Man Zendaya because it had the same amount of impact.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Let the Spider-Man hate flow.
That's not hate. It's just could have been better.
Yep. I don't think there's another picture in there, is there? This is the end of the show. So that was D23, and that's sad because I think we talked for a long time. I feel like that every week though, and it's always like 35 minutes. So, in any case, I want to go through a couple things. So, number one, it's Friday. If you saw us at the After Dark video game event that was located at the Michigan Science Center, we loved seeing you. If you want to message us at any time, we are selling T-shirts. We've got these beautiful new T-shirts. There's one back up there, but they've got this beautiful Wampa logo designed by Jason Smith.
Showing the whole shirt.
Yeah, I should show you the whole shirt.
Got her.
size
What?
is this?
I think that's
Here,
my
so,
shirt.
Hey, this would fit me.
I think that's my shirt though.
Nice.
I was
right?
told.
Right. I don't think this is in camera. Right. That's pretty cool. So if you want to know anything about that, we will ship them anywhere you'd like. Just message directly to the Wampa Slayer Facebook page. That's facebook.com/WampaSlayer.
$10.
They are $10 shirt. So let us know, and I'm sure that first run is getting real low. So if you want it, get in it quick. Also, it's Friday. So Saturday is Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago. If we have listeners that are going to Pokemon Go Fest, or if you already live in the area, we have got some people who will be there. So look for those Wampa Slayer shirts, and they can give you some stickers. Talk to them, get on some pictures. We'll hit you up on that Instagram.
We're on the gram.
Yep. So if you would like to follow us, me on Twitter, that's the Alien512, or Mike.
WS the Mike Speaks.
We talked about our Facebook. It's facebook.com/WampaSlayer. Instagram, Wampa Slayer. We are all the time taking pictures.
Yes.
Because it's linked to all of our phones, and we're just taking constant stuff.
Right. And we will follow you.
Yep.
Just follow us. We'll follow you.
Yep. If you like what you see and you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 100 subscribers so that we can get youtube.com/WampaSlayer. So you can help us out. Just hit that subscribe, even if you don't want to watch stuff.
Yeah.
And if you like the video, of course, hit that thumbs up. I think that's about it.
Yeah. I think
Have a great week at the movies. Next week, we're talking about San Diego Comic Con, so make sure you tune in for that. We'll see you later.